I'm going to the beach today, which you already know what that means. It's time to read some summery, beachy romances. I'm starting out with A Summer Affair, even though I'm nervous to read this one because I don't like affairs in books. I don't really want to read about someone cheating. But it is by Elin Hilderbrand and she's one of my favorites, so I'm willing to give it a try. Also, I'm only going to be at the beach for a couple of days, so I'm definitely not going to finish this book while I'm there, But let's head to the beach.
Got this song up inside of me, in a world I don't wanna say. Just the same damn thing. What's your height, what's your age, what's the price of your way? And every year we're expected to show all the things that we were able to grow. When you're making half the money but the cost is double. Quiet life of desperation, but it ain't gonna make me too much longer. Been working too hard for this shit to not pop, so we about to get it poppin' now.
It's actually been a couple of days, but I am back from the beach. I haven't really picked up this book until just now, and I'm now on part 2, page 125. And I was right, it is a bit challenging for me to read about an affair. I really don't like that. But there's just something about the way Elin Hilderbrand writes. I love her writing style. Plus, if you didn't know, every single one of Elin Hilderbrand's books takes place on Nantucket, which I believe, I want to say it's off the coast of New York, but I could be very wrong. I've never been and I'm really bad at geography, but I actually really want to go to Nantucket because of Elin Hilderbrand's books. I really enjoy her books. I feel like they're normally 3 to 4 stars for me, but I don't know, I really like them. I haven't read an Elin Hilderbrand book that I've not liked. Like 3 stars is still good, you know what I mean? Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked, but this book is basically about a woman named Claire. She's got 4 kids. She's married to this guy. I think his name is Jason. We learn a lot about her family and like her kids and what she did for work. Like I said, you kind of further dive into all of those things. It's so hard for me to like think about and rate a book that has an affair in it because I'm like, I can't say that you're a good person or that I really like your character if you're like having an affair, but I do like her character, so it's hard. And sometimes the backstory does get really annoying and like I kind of want to skip parts of it, but it's definitely important for the plot to like get that backstory, but that also kind of makes it slow at times. But somehow the way Elin Hilderbrand writes, I just like am eating it up. Like, I don't know, I just really love how she writes, and I missed her writing because obviously I'm not gonna pick up like a summery romance in the middle of the winter, but now that it's warm outside, I'm like, okay, I can pick this up. Another thing though about this book is that I hate that I hate the cover and I hate that it says affair on it. So I'm like, I like being able to bring my books around with me. Like this like I'm low-key embarrassed to bring this around with me. Like, also, the fact that there's dogs on this cover, put those dogs away. Nobody wants to see those dogs on the cover. This book is also the first one in a series. I want to say Perfect Couple is next and then Castaways. I'm not actually sure, but the 4th book in this series comes out this summer. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to reading this. I'm really excited to read it. It's definitely getting me in the summery mood. We'd never come to this side. You're sitting on my bookcase right now. I keep writing down notes on my phone so that I don't turn on the camera and forget what I was going to say. But I was going to say, Claire, the main character, she does not get along with someone else in this book, and I think it's so funny. Funny might be the wrong word, but they just had a really heated email exchange and I was like eating it up because also the girl that she doesn't like is just, she is so uppity that it drives me crazy, and it's like, whoa, girl, take a step back. Like, you gotta chill, you know? So I get it, but also I'm waiting for the shoe to drop and us to learn something about this other girl's backstory onto why she acts the way she is, and then that way like we'll probably like her a bit more. That's my theory. That could be incorrect, but that's what I think is going to happen. I don't know if you can tell, but it's the next day. I feel like you can't really tell because I've been wearing the same thing every single day, but I'm on page 240, chapter 8, and I'm actually loving it so much right now. And I'm wondering if part of that is because I went into this book thinking that I would not like it, and then here I am and I actually do really like it. Still hate the dogs on the cover though. I think part of the reason I really like it is also because it's not just about the affair. Like, you learn a lot about the characters and their backstory, and not even just like these 2 people, like the couple's backstory and characters. You learn about the people around them, and I think that's really interesting as well. I'm such a characters person that I could read about characters probably forever as long as it's written in an entertaining way, and Elin Hilderbrand does that set for me 100%. I definitely feel like this is a character focused book. I don't feel like plot wise there's a lot happening, but obviously like with the affair there's some tension there. But I don't know, there's just something about it where these characters are obviously extremely flawed, but I don't hate them, and it's just something about the way that this writing is done. I feel like this is just a testament to Elin Hilderbrand. I don't know, I just feel like it takes a special kind of way to write about an affair and not make me absolutely hate the couple, hate the people. And honestly, I don't like the couple by any means, but I like them both individually, and I feel like it's, I guess, obvious that I wouldn't like the couple because, you know, they're cheating on their significant others, but there's just something about this book that I'm eating it up and I don't want to stop. Like, all I want to do is read. I also have a newfound appreciation for thrift stores because I showed you guys these books. Okay, yeah, just throw them. I showed you guys these books earlier, but I don't think I mentioned that I actually thrifted these books, which is so slay because I had this one already, found both of these at the thrift store, so someone probably gave away the whole set, and maybe someone picked this one up at the thrift store, I don't know, but this one my sister gave me, and these two I found at the thrift store for like 50 cents each, so I love going and seeing the book sections at thrift stores. Literally love them so much. Also found a new used bookstore that I'm obsessed with. I obviously don't need to go buy any more books right now because of the 22 books my sister just gave me, which I don't know if I mentioned in this video. But yeah, she gave me 22 books for my 22nd birthday. And my book cart is literally full of TBR books. Let me show you. This is my TBR cart. The top is my 2024 TBR. And then obviously these two sections pretty full. The back is also full. Well, not full, but pretty full as well. All of those are on my physical TBR. Getting through these right now. Haven't read any of these. I was actually about to haul these. So if you want to see a haul, stay tuned. These are the 22 books that my sister got me. Again, I'm going to use them in a video. So I haven't read any of these shelves either. So it's sufficient to say I need to stop buying books. I'm about to go to sleep, but I wanted to give a quick update because I'm already on page 334. So I'm pretty close to being finished with this book. I will say I feel like I've hit a lull in the book. Like, not a ton is really going on. I'm kind of a little bit bored, to be honest. I was liking it a lot more earlier in the book, but I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, this feels a little bit dragged out. Like, I'm a little bit over this. And I will say it is kind of a longer book for being a romance. It's over 400 pages. So I don't know. I guess maybe I'm starting to feel like things are being a little bit more dragged out than I would want them to be, which is a little bit disappointing because, like I said, I was really liking this book earlier, but I'm not hating it right now. I'm just kind of feeling a little bit like blah, a little bit bored almost, which obviously is not a good sign. Like, when I'm reading, I don't want to be bored. Maybe I'll feel more inclined to read it tomorrow morning because I am getting pretty tired. So I'm gonna go to bed and we will keep reading tomorrow. Let's chat about my books, shall we? So, as you saw, last night I was really close to finishing this book, and I did finish it. I finished it just now while I was sitting outside, so it was very much a vibe. But I was kind of saying that I wasn't really feeling the book towards the end. It was getting a bit slow, and I do still attest to that. It just felt a little bit unnecessarily slow towards the end, which is very disappointing because I was definitely liking this book. I was enjoying it, and for a while I was convinced that it would be a 4-star. I think I'm gonna end up at a 3.5 for this one. As of right now, I'm gonna think about it and I'll let you know at the end of the video if it changes. But I just was not very happy with the ending. It was a little bit too slow for me. I was just kind of over it at that point. And I think it's because this book is a little bit over 400 pages long, and I just didn't feel like it was necessary to be that long. I felt like it was just a little bit dragged out, and not too bad. Like, it didn't drive me crazy. It was just at the end I felt like there was just like 30 pages that I just was not entertained by. I didn't really like them. I don't know why, but I do know why I didn't like the ending. I obviously can't tell you why because I don't want to spoil it, but something happens at the end that, one, I predicted in the beginning, which I hate when that happens. I actually hate it so much. But two, it leaves like something untied, which I guess makes sense because it's a series, but I don't know if the next book is going to talk about it because it's something kind of small that's left untied. I don't know, but I am interested enough and I liked it enough to obviously recommend it, but to also go and read the rest of the series because I really want to read the rest of the series. But I kind of don't want to do that in this video because I don't want to make this video a reading that series, you know what I mean? Because there's 3 books out. I could just read the series, but that's not what this video is about. So I will read that eventually, just not right now. I am going to pick up The Newcomer by Mary Kay Andrews. I've read, I think, 2 books from her and I liked them both, so I'm actually really excited to read more. But I honestly have absolutely no idea what this book is about at all. But it's very summer-esque. Like, look at the cover. This little girl and the sharks around her. That's cute, right? So I'm gonna pick this up. Really excited. I also came this close to going to a Mary Kay Andrews book signing, but it was on like a random day of the week and I was like, I don't really want to take off work to travel and go see her, and it just felt like too much for it being like during the middle of the week. So anyway, enough of me ranting. I'm gonna go start this book. I don't know if you can tell, but we changed the light bulbs in my room so they're a lot more brighter and they're like more of a white instead of a yellow tone because one of the light bulbs went out, so we just got all new ones. But if you can tell on the lighting change, that is why. I feel like I can tell, but I don't know if you guys can tell. Anyway, what I meant to say is that my hold on Libby became available, so I'm now gonna go start Beach Read by Emily Henry, and I'm so excited. So we're gonna put a pause on the Newcomer. I'm still gonna read it in this video. I'm just gonna read it as the next book instead of my book right now, because when I borrow a book from Libby, I'm like, oh, I only have 2 weeks to read it. Like, I need to read that first. So we're gonna go start that one. I'm very excited, even though I have absolutely no idea what that book is about, but that's my favorite way to go into books. So let's go start that one. I'm 18% of the way through Beach Read right now on chapter 7, and I'm actually really enjoying it so far. And now that I've started it, I kind of remember the synopsis that I've heard before, because I've definitely heard about this book. It's very popular. I'm just very late to reading it, but it's basically about January and Gus, and they're both authors. They met in college and then they meet again, obviously, in the future. And since they're both writers, I think they have writer's block and they end up helping each other write their books. I don't remember exactly the synopsis that I've heard before, but because that hasn't happened yet, but I'm pretty sure that that's the book that I'm thinking of that I've heard before. I don't know. Either way, I'm really enjoying it so far. I love how Emily Henry writes, and it's kind of reminding me of Beach Read. Nope, it's kind of reminding me of Happy Place, because I've read Happy Place and Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and I just didn't love Book Lovers. I loved Happy Place. That was a 5-star for me. But anyways, so far this one's really good. I'm gonna keep reading because literally all I want to do is read, and it's also reading super fast. I just started audibly laughing, and I love when books do that to me because it reminds me of a rom-com. And I don't know if this book is even supposed to be a romance, but I feel like Emily Henry normally writes fiction with a subplot of romance. That still reminds me of a rom-com when I'm like reading a book with a little bit of romance and I'm like actually giggling out loud. The last book that did that to me was Finley Donovan Is Killing It, and that book was so good. I ate that up. It was so funny. I actually listened to the audiobook of that one and I was obsessed with the audiobook. So good. Anyways, I love when I can laugh at a book. See, this is my thing with romance books. I'm gonna go in assuming that I'm going to predict something, even if it's something small. And so I feel like when that happens, I don't normally care. Like, that just happened and I didn't care at all. I was just kind of like, yeah, that's obvious, duh, whatever. But if that happened in a fantasy or a thriller, that would drive me crazy enough to where it would like no longer have 5-star potential. You know what I mean? Like, that just happened when I read, I think it was Crown of Midnight, and I guessed literally the very last little cliffhanger ending, and that happened for me in Fourth Wing as well. And oh my gosh, literally that's one of the main reasons neither of those books are 5 stars for me, because I absolutely despise when that happens, especially when it's like the little cliffhanger last sentence ending type of thing. Horrible. But anyways, I'm still really enjoying this book, and I think I'm literally just gonna spend the rest of the night reading because it's so good. I will say it a million times if I need to, I am such a characters girly. I am obsessed with January and Gus right now. I'm literally only 30% of the way through, and I am dreading the idea of a third act breakup. I don't even know if a third act breakup is gonna happen, but 30% in, I'm petrified of the idea that it will happen. I don't think she's done that in her other books, but I've only read 2 from her, so I'm really not sure. But still, I'm like, if that happens and it ruins the book for me, like, I'm not gonna be okay, you know what I mean? I'm now on chapter 14. I'm 39% of the way through this book, and I'm literally so obsessed with Gus and January right now. I just like, ugh, I love them so much. They feel so real to me, and the way they interact is just so cute. Dare I say this is starting to have some 5-star potential. I just love them. I just love them. I read a little bit before bed, so I'm at 53% right now, and I kind of think I'm gonna finish it today, which is so crazy because first off, it's only 8:30 right now. Second, I feel like I just started this book, so it's crazy to think that I could already finish it when I feel like I just started it. Which I guess, yeah, I read like 2 pages one day and then read 53% yesterday. So it's very likely that I will finish it today. I forgot to mention, I woke up so early this morning and immediately started thinking about this book, which is just a sign. You know, it's a good sign that my first conscious thought in the morning was this book, and it was enough to get me out of bed instead of sitting on my phone all morning. We've got some good things going here. Also, I don't know why I'm sitting on the floor when there's literally a perfectly good couch right behind me. We keep getting these moments between Gus and January that I just feel like it's almost like, ugh, I don't even know what to say to not spoil it. It's so cute, and I'm just like, I feel like I sound like a broken record, but I honestly don't know what to say other than that because I don't want to spoil anything, and it's also just like I love, and these little moments between them, I'm just like, it's making me love them even more. I don't know why. I'm at chapter 22, 69% of the way through the book, and something just happened that kind of made me go like, ugh, why? Like, why did this happen? Why are you doing this to me? And like, not really in a good way, to be honest. But also when it was happening, like I would think one thing and you're getting August's, nope. You're getting January's point of view. So you hear like her thoughts and not Gus's. When those things would happen, I would kind of think one thing and January would think something very different of like the situation and what happened. And I don't know, that's just kind of a little odd to me of like, why was that her first thought when mine was like very different? I feel like we should at least have like similar thoughts about what's going on. I think that's the best way I can describe it without telling you what happened. But yeah, I don't love that, but I trust that Emily Henry will come back and help clear things up for me on why that happened, you know? And then I'll be like, okay, yeah, that's fine. This is still 5-star, you know what I mean? As of right now though, I'm just putting all my faith in Miss Emily here, hoping that she pulls through. Let's quickly chat about this book because I'm now 78% of the way through. I'm on chapter 24. I feel like I've kind of fallen off a little bit. I'm not sure that this is gonna be a 5-star anymore. Now it feels like one that I kind of just have to think about and see if I keep thinking about it after I finish it, you know what I mean? So as of right now, I don't know. I am still very much enjoying it, and I still very much hope that I can finish it today. Jack is about to come over, so I might not finish it. I don't know. It depends on how long he stays for, but I am gonna read until he gets here and just kind of vibe it out, just kind of see what I'm feeling. I still love them both as characters so much. I just don't know if it's 5 stars anymore, which that hurts my feelings, you know? I want it to be a 5-star. I don't know, I'm just gonna read it, I'm gonna vibe it out, I'm gonna stop being in my head so much about it. Oh, but my thing was, I feel like there was a tiny little bit of a third act conflict, but also it's not close enough to the end for it to really be a third act conflict. It was just kind of like, why are you guys arguing about this? Or they weren't even arguing, it was just like a misunderstanding. And I was like, oh, that's even worse. I would rather you argue than it be a misunderstanding. I just finished Beach Read and I feel like I need to say this really quickly before we do my final thoughts, which we'll do tomorrow, when I have a second to gather everything and I like know what I'm gonna say, you know, like and know how I feel 100%. But I think part of why I like this book so much is because the banter between the two characters in this book was just so good, and it kind of reminds me of Gilmore Girls. So I think that's part of why I really liked it. I do want to sleep on my reading and we'll chat some more in the morning. Let's chat about Beach Read. It's the next day. First off, I want to say, what about this book is beachy? Probably nothing other than the fact that it's Beach Read. Like, that's the title. But I must have missed the part where they're at the beach, where they talk about the beach, because that didn't happen at all. They're literally at a lake. So I'm kind of confused on where the beach part comes in, but I'll just go with it. Anyways, I kind of mentioned yesterday that I was thinking it's a 5-star, and I feel like I can officially say it is a 5-star because now that it's the next day, I'm like, where's January and Gus? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I want to talk to them. I want to chat. I want to have a little hangout. But they're gone. Like, I finished the book. There's no more to January. So I feel like that's a sign that it is a 5-star. My whole thing is that it doesn't feel the same as a 5-star from like when I read 7 Year Slip, that was like 5-star. Like, I was obsessed 5-star. This is like a 5-star that's like a little bit lower. Like, this is a 5-star. 7 Year Slip was like a 6-star. You know what I mean? I loved this one. I don't know if I like it more or the same as Happy Place. I think I like Happy Place a little bit more. Definitely like it a lot better than Book Lovers. I think Book Lovers was a 4-star for me, but like now that I'm looking back, I'm like, it could be a 3-star. I don't know. I just loved these characters so much. If you've read this book and you can explain the title to me, go for it, because I think I must have missed that part where they're at the beach. January, oh my gosh, loved her. She's a little bit of a mess. Honestly, her money problems gave me a little bit of anxiety through I almost said the screen because I read it on my iPad, but through the book, through the pages. But you know what? I feel like that made her realistic, and I don't know. I feel like I'm just repeating myself at this point. Let's just move on because I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I started The Newcomer by Mary Kay Andrews. I actually really like this so far. I'm on chapter 9, which is page 64. So not that much into it. It's kind of a long book for what I assume is a romance. I don't know, but it's got a very beachy cover to it. It's set in Florida so far. Basically, it's about this girl named Letty and her sister's daughter named Maya. And Letty is now taking care of Maya, which the whole beginning of this book kind of starts out a little bit not suspicious, but like they're kind of hiding a lot from you. And I kind of feel like at this point I'm still a little bit confused on what is going on. More of like their backstory, because I know what's going on right now, but then they switch to New York City because you kind of get a timeline of what's going on in New York City, and then you get a timeline of what's going on where Letty is in Florida. So whenever they go back to New York City, I'm kind of like, what is going on? I think I've started to piece things together now. I was mostly just confused about where Maya came in. I'm really curious on what genre this is supposed to be, but I'm really liking all the characters and the couple plot lines that we have going on. Like there's a main plot line, but then there's a little bit about the police officer that's there and the motel owner who's the police officer's mom. You get a good mix of things going on, which I really appreciate. I also don't know if I mentioned this already. I think this is my second or third book by Mary Kay Andrews, and I kind of really like it. This is the first one that hasn't had more of like a real estate type element to the book, but I guess they are at a motel, so we'll see like where that's going. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm gonna see where this goes. I'm actually really enjoying it so far, but I think that's also because, I can't lie, I had kind of low expectations for this. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I haven't heard anyone read it. I don't know. Sometimes when I go into a beach read, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be probably a 3-star. Like I kind of expect a 3-star from a beach read, but so far I'm really liking it. So this video is pretty good. I got a 4-star, then I got a 5. Now I'm like, oh, this one's pretty good. I don't want to jinx myself, but it's looking pretty good for me.
What's the price of your way? And every year we're expected to show all the things that we were able to grow. When you're making half the money, but the cost is double. Quiet life of desperation, but it ain't gonna make me too much longer. Been working too hard for this shit to not pop, so we about to get it poppin' now. Quiet life of desperation, so I'ma have to live a little louder. And no, I ain't gonna end up like the man trying to figure out the man who got it figured out. I just bought me a new condo, and in the same year moved back home. Guess the 20s ain't as friendly as a place where you were born. And anytime you
Something about me is that I will literally pick up a book and not read what it's about by any means. Like this book, I saw it for like $3 at Ollie's, and I was like, oh yeah, like that cover looks cute, and I've read some Mary Kay Andrews books before, like let me just read it. Yeah, I have no idea what I was expecting with this book, but I am not getting it at all right now. I was fully like, at least thought it would be a little bit of a romance. I haven't gotten any bit of romance at all, but I feel like there's going to be a romance, and I feel like I know who's going to be between. I haven't gotten that by any means, not even close, and I'm on page 106 right now. There was also just a literal fist fight between some characters just now. I'm still really liking it so far, but also it's kind of like, what? I don't know where this plotline is gonna go by any means. There's like one major part where we have to like see where it's gonna go and figure that out, but like with that in mind, I don't feel like this book should be that long if that's the only part of the plotline, you know? Like there's gotta be more things going on that we have yet to discover, but I guess we'll find out. I'm waiting for things to like go south, you know? I'm waiting for people to find out certain things and other people to get involved in certain things, because we all know what's gonna happen, you know? We all know that someone's gonna get caught doing something and there's gonna be another physical brawl. Probably not a physical brawl, but something's gonna go down. And I feel like that's the main thing that's keeping me wanting to keep going in this book, is I just want to find out what happened. I feel like that's a good sign, and I'm like, what is gonna happen? I'm so intrigued enough to be like, let me just sit down all day and figure out what's gonna happen. That's what I want to know. We're starting to find some things out about Letty's sister, which was just so needed, because I felt like I was getting to a point in the book where things started to kind of slow down. I was a little bit like, okay, what now? I kind of felt like I was in limbo, you know? Nothing was really happening, but I also wasn't bored, so I don't know. But we're finding some surprising things out about Letty's sister that just really, I was shocked basically. So hopefully we're gonna uncover some more things as well. But yeah, it was like 2 things in a row that I was like, whoa girl, I didn't see that coming. It's the next day. I just got to chapter 21, and the romance in here literally just came out of nowhere. Came straight out of left field. Like, there was no hint of anything before. Not that I picked up on. Like, maybe it was there and I didn't really pick up on it. But yeah, it just came out of nowhere. But also, I was kind of expecting it because, like I said, I was going into this book thinking it was a romance, even though I didn't read the synopsis, literally judged the book by its cover and assumed that it was a romance. But yeah, it literally just came out of left field. field. I don't know how I feel about that, but also I assumed this would happen. So it's kind of like a weird mix of like, why did this just come out of nowhere? But also I was expecting it, so it didn't really come out of nowhere, but it kind of did. I don't know, just not loving that we didn't get really much of a build up. Don't mind my hair. I am oiling it and it has a hair mask in right now because I just want to have pretty hair, you know what I mean? I'm on page 218. Can't tell if I just hit the halfway mark or what, but this is where I am right now. I will say this morning I did try to listen to the audiobook, but it just was not hitting. It was not that good, but more importantly, I was just getting very confused because I think I would just miss things and then I'd be like, what is happening? So I stopped the audiobook and picked the physical copy back up again. I feel like I don't have much to report on other than that. I am still enjoying it. Things are starting to unfold. Well, not really unfold, but we've got like an extra little bit that we found out recently that was a little bit, I'm not even that surprised to be honest, but I think we were supposed to be a little bit surprised. Basically uncovering some people, you know what I mean? Like we're finding out the dirty little secrets here of everyone. I don't know. It's nothing crazy so far. It's nothing, like I'm not jumping up and down to tell everyone that I love this book, but I'm also not hating it. So I look a little rough right now because I just showered and I did a face mask and now like my chin is super irritated because I couldn't get it off. I was like scrubbing at my face to get it off. So let's just pretend you don't see that. But I'm now on page 251, chapter 35, and I'm realizing part of my problem is that this book weirdly enough reminds me of Finley Donovan Is Killing It, like that series, and I can't tell if there's actually anything similar between these two books other than the fact that there's a police officer and like romance involved in the book. There's like a police investigation and romance and like people dying and like obviously the murder of Letty's sister. But other than those things, I'm like, there's nothing about this book other than that is like Finley Donovan Is Killing It. But for some reason, I keep comparing the two of them and that's just not good because I loved Finley Donovan Is Killing It. I gave it a 4-star and this book is just not living up to that. Also, anytime we get any little bit of romance in the book, I don't like it. I cringe. I don't know. It's just not good because we had absolutely no build up. So now I'm like, the romance is like really bad. But then also, since I don't like the romance, I'm like, cut the romance out, cut a little bit of the plot points, and you're saving me 100 pages here. It did not need to be this long of a book. I feel like I sound so negative. I'm not fully hating it. There's just certain things that I'm like, this is holding you back, babe. You had a lot of potential, but you're being held back by these things, you know? Quick update here because I'm thinking I'll finish the last 100-ish pages of this book pretty quickly today because to be honest, I'm a little bit over the book, but I don't want to DNF it when I literally am this close to finishing it. I am kind of disappointed, so we'll talk about it later when I finish the book. Maybe I'll feel better by then, but I don't know. I hate to end this video on a bad note, but it is what it is because I can't control how I feel about this book. You guys saw all of my reactions to this, but I do want to quickly recap all my feelings on this book and the rest of the books I read in this video. We'll start off with this one because I just finished it. I was very disappointed. As you saw, I really liked it in the beginning. I loved like the action part of what was going on, like the whole mystery behind what happened to her sister and if she was gonna get caught by the police and what was gonna happen with all of that. But then the romance started coming in and it was not a romance. It was such a weird dynamic because it came out of nowhere and then would randomly pop up throughout the book when the main focus was still on the mystery aspect of things. So if this book was probably like 150 pages shorter and didn't have any bit of romance in it, I think I would like it a lot more. But with that being said, I think I'm gonna give it a 3-star. I'll let you know if this changes, but I did really like the beginning and honestly things just started going downhill from when the romance started going into things. Plus, I just felt like things were getting dragged out when they really didn't need to be. I'm a little disappointed in this one. I think it's still a 3 though. I don't know. I am toggling between a 2.5 and a 3, but a 2.5 feels too aggressive on the book and a 3 feels too nice. I don't know. It just was not for me. Also, no one in this book felt real to me. Like they all really felt like characters, which sucks. And then on the opposite spectrum of things, I read Beach Read, which I might have done The Newcomer a disservice by reading Beach Read first because I obviously loved Beach Read. I gave that a 5-star. It was so good. I loved the couple. They just felt so real and everything they went through felt so real. And that's what I love about Emily Henry. She always manages to make everything feel real. And I love when I'm reading a book and it just, I was gonna say feels real again, but I said that like 10 million times, but you get what I'm saying. That was such a good book. And then I also read A Summer Affair by Elin Hilderbrand. I already knew that I loved Elin Hilderbrand and her writing because I've read a lot of Elin Hilderbrand books already. This one I've actually thought of a lot ever since I read it. I can't remember if I rated it a 3 or a 4-star, but if I rated it a 3 then it definitely should be a 4-star because I've thought about this book so much and I really really want to pick up the rest of the series. It's really a testament to her writing that she made me actually like a book about an affair when I never thought that I could do that. Highly recommend this one. Definitely a strong 4-star. And it sucks that we're ending this video on a not great note with the Newcomer, but that is okay. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what else you want to see from me. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!